Obviously happy with the draw, Northern openers State captain Rick McCosker and Steve Hatherall were content just to defend their wickets only. But McCosker, when something loose appeared, was quick to punish the bowler. And Hatherall occasionally let loose too, this time at the expense of Ian Botham. McCosker survived this chance, put down by Derek Randall. To be out shortly afterwards, caught Ian Botham bowled Norman Cowans for 18 runs. This made way for the only real highlight of the morning, the entry to the crease of Greg Arms, who put together 5 boundaries, including this one off Robin Jack. This one off spinner Vic Mars. And yet another off the same bowler. And at lunch, Arms was not out 40, Hatherall 17, and Northern New South Wales were 1 for 76. The nor'easter blew after lunch, and so did Northern New South Wales' chances of even drawing. 5 wickets fell in the session for the addition of just 47 runs. First to go was Greg Arms, out for 53 when the score was 81. Opener Steve Hatherall went for 24, and former State player David Johnston got out and struck the ball hard. And another, this time off medium pacer Pringle. He was then out hitting on off the same bowler for 17. Norman Cowans came on for another spell and took the wicket with Robert Wilkinson with his very first ball, led before wicket. Local hero and former international Gary Gilmore came to the crease and hit hard on the second ball he faced. Eric Higgins, a newcomer to the local team, went without scoring, caught at the wicket off Torres. At tea, Northern New South Wales was 6 for 123 and still had 19 to get to force England to bat. The rot continued after tea when perhaps the one faint hope, Gary Gilmore, fell to Botham, but he was out for 3. Wicketkeeper Kerry Thompson was dropped in the same over. Captain Michael Hill provided the only resistance for Northern New South Wales, and he hit the solid shot to pass England's total of 305. Come on! But then the last 3 wickets fell quickly. Hill goes LBW to Hemmings for 29. Then Thompson for 10, also off Hemmings. Last man to go was Holland, who collected the dreaded duck, and Hemmings bagged his 3rd of the session. England openers Chris Tavares and Graham Fowler, set on not blotting their copybooks, batted tediously to get the runs, which came just 20 minutes before stumps when Fowler lofted Captain Nick Hill to the fence and England won by 10 wickets.
Yeah, that's Phil. You can play it.
damage that's drastically limited the Canberra's performance is obviously of major concern to the Navy. Publicly, the Navy is saying that 5 blades of the variable pitch propeller have been damaged by striking an object. There's no suggestion of when that might have happened. However, as the ship sits high and dry in the State Dockyard floating dock, the alleged damage to the propeller is not immediately obvious. Certainly there are no fresh chips or dents. In fact, work today is being concentrated on the rear propeller shaft bearing. In any case, the Navy has no spare propeller. If a new one's needed, it'll have to be brought from the United States, and the replacement will cost around $500,000. The shaft and propeller of the 35-knot frigate protrude almost 3 metres below the keel line, a design feature that must have contributed to the first frigate, Adelaide, losing its propeller when it ran aground in trials off Seattle. The incident is obviously a major embarrassment to the Navy, which is being particularly close-lipped about the whole episode, and not very cooperative. That's why we've had to approach from the water. But there's obviously going to be many questions asked, and outside the Navy the question is already being asked, why would a vessel which has to operate in our coastal waters have such a vulnerable propeller?
Well, I think there's a good chance, Lee, on 70% of the points. I'm only about 150 behind, and there's 2 events over there, so I think I can catch up pretty easily.
We've heard in the past that Hawaii is your stamping ground. You love it there.
Well, I really enjoy it. The surf's big there, and they run the 2 events in big surf. They never run the contests in small surf, and I feel really confident surfing in the big surf. A lot of the younger surfers are intimidated by the big surf, but I feel I can do well there.
It's never worried you, the big waves?
Well, I was scared the first few times I went there. I've been to Hawaii quite a few times now, and the first couple of times I was absolutely terrified. But as you go back year after year, you become accustomed to the conditions, and the fear gradually leaves you.
And you've done well there. Of course, your confidence is high.
Well, I've always done well there in past years, so I feel really confident there.
At your tender age of what, 24?
25.
25?
Yeah.
Bad back troubles, but right now I believe.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a stiffness on the right-hand side, Lee, and I've been having physiotherapy at Lee Jensen's this week, and I'm fighting fit now, good as new.
The $3 million tug was officially named W.J. Trotter by Mr. Trotter's daughter, Denise, who was assisted by her two sisters, Bernadette and Maria. Mr. Trotter is a director of Howard Smith, a company which has ordered 3 identical tugs from Carrington Slipways. The tug that was launched today is the second of the series, and it's destined to be stationed in the port of Brisbane, joining 5 other tugs there that were also built by Carrington Slipways. 34 metres long and capable of operating in ocean conditions, the tug was designed by the Newcastle naval architects Barnes and Fleck.
Now what we've seen is that the resource gap between those needy schools and the rest of the schools in Australia has remained, and what we now realise is that we've got to direct more and more of our attention towards quite specifically improving the conditions in those needy schools. And what that means as a consequence is that you can no longer justify providing subsidies to all non-government schools, including those who operate at with twice the level of resources of government schools. You can't justify providing extra subsidies to them when there continue to be thousands of needy schools within the non-government sector. Now that's the first point. The other is that we need to develop a much stronger commitment from the federal government, from the federal sphere, towards the improvement of the government school system as well.
On another subject, this conference today spoke
A meeting had been called to protest at the state government's Sydney drafted regional environment plan, together with its draft urban consolidation plan. The Department of Environment and Planning has drawn up a scheme for the urbanisation of the Greenpoint and Erina valleys. Gosford residents fear that the development of these valleys will destroy the rural atmosphere of the area. They also believe they are being used by the government as guinea pigs to gauge public reaction to its urban consolidation proposals. Mrs. Margaret Toms, a spokesperson for the residents, outlined the aims of the protest meeting.
They are here to protest in volume, to tell the Minister for State Planning and Environment, Mr. Bedford, and the state government that there's no way we want this type of development on the Central Coast. We're not against development, but the people want to say they don't want their lifestyle ruined, they don't want their environment ruined. This is what the Central Coast is all about.
What do you suggest concerned Gosford residents do about the proposed urbanisation plan?
In writing, write to the Minister, Mr. Bedford of Planning and Environment, before the 12th. We only have 4 or is it 5 more days, because after the 12th it will be far too late.
Newcastle Herald's Radio 2KO promotion is being held in 2 giant tents at the Newcastle Showground. More than 150 exhibitors covering all types of home improvement and leisure activity products are taking part in the show, which runs until Sunday. Today it was officially opened by Newcastle's Lord Mayor, Alderman Joy Cummings. Anything to do with homes, it's all here, and the latest trends in furniture, bedding, kitchen appliances and associated demonstrations. Delicate shallows of the goldfish mould to the blockbusting depths of modern-day home video entertainment. The exhibition is a credit to its organisers and well worth anyone's time for a visit.
The cleaners, members of the Miscellaneous Workers Union, met at the Trades Hall today. The men have banned the cleaning of male toilets in protest at an allowance paid only to women cleaners. The amount is $4.50 a week. Mr. Athol Cowley, Secretary of the Union, says the state government is refusing to negotiate. As a result, the toilets have not been cleaned for more than a week in some schools, posing a serious health risk. Some cleaners last week received stand-down notices but have been staging a work-in while maintaining bans. A mass meeting of all government cleaners has been called for next Monday to discuss further action.
Running wide, O'Carey through, beautifully through below, good pass by Wiley. O'Carey, Stone, Clemp pulled that one in. Good try for Mike Clemp. So Tim Favell. Maori's lining up the centre, but Paul Blake's got the ball. O'Carey through the gap. Steve O'Carey on his own. And he just waltzes in for the try to get this lead brought back. So Matthews through on McLean. I'll have to be careful here. The Maoris might concede a penalty. It's coming for Blake. Oh, a good pass by Blake to Pokeri, and something could be on here for the Maoris. Carpenter Woodman. He's got a man inside him and couldn't see him. To Pokeri, caught by Giles. To Clamp. And Mike Clamp's away. Well, the rugby field is only 100 metres long, but that try was made from more than 100 metres out. Hudrickett. Frank Shelford, that's the 22 coming up. To Felix O'Carroll. Now Clamp's having another chance. Will he get through this time? Here comes the hat trick for Mike Clamp. And away for Blake now, outside the 22. Wiley, Pokeri, to Stone, to Warren McLean up from fullback. Clamp is out and could get try number 4, but Kevin James misses his tackle, and it's Warren McLean who goes in for the try.
Steve, you've been putting in plenty of work, I guess, as the defending champion. The trip to Club Med interests you, I suppose.
Yes, Lou, I've been training for the trip. It's sponsored by Jay's, and it's one of the best prices we've had for this Ironman.
Sure, it hasn't been held for the last couple of years, but you took out the title last time.
Yeah, I took it last time, so I'm going into this year to defend my title again.
Exactly, I believe it's the same course, Steve. Tell us about it.
You start off at the 16-foot sailing club, and you swim to Belmont Yacht Club around a course they set there. Then you run from there, you change into your shoes there, and run from there to Pelican boat shed there, and you jump on your ski there. You've got a handler for you, and you paddle from there up to Swansea Channel, up to the boat shed where you change and you get on a board and you paddle around a course to Belmont's Blacksmiths Surf Club and run up the beach from there.
And the first one home wins, of course.
That's it, yeah.
Open division you're in. There's a division, I believe, for over 24s.
Yeah, over 24s, over 30s and junior division.
Okay, who's the bloke to beat?
I'd say my club mate Lawrence Rees.
He must be training hard for it too.
Yeah, Lawrence is just a natural. He's an Ironman from Queensland, and I'd say him and a few contenders from Swansea Belmont will be right up there.
I guess we could have a dark horse or two coming from Sydney too that maybe will be a late entry.
Yeah, well that could happen too, Lee. We'll just have to see on the day. We'll just have to try our best. That's all we can do.
What happens if Grant Kenny turns up?
I'm still going to be trying.
Good on you, mate.